Greetings everyone, welcome to NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. Some of you might have been having problems watching the latest episodes due to YouTube's issue with the subscriptions. Some people are not getting the videos in their subscription box, so make sure you check out the previous edition of NoDQ&A video and let everyone know if you know anybody that watches the show. And keep spreading the word, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Let's get right down to your questions. Hey Aaron, honestly, when is someone but Super Cena gonna get a push? They made Del Rio look too weak in their match, and it's upsetting since he's a good in-ring performer. Well, yeah, the Night of Champions finish with John Cena winning back the title for the 12th time now was a little bit surprising. The whole idea behind Alberto Del Rio getting the world title in the first place was so he would be champion going into Mexico when WWE does their tour there in October. So why did they put the title on him in the first place if John Cena was just going to get it back right away? Now, it could be a situation where WWE panicked because of the ratings for Raw this past week. They did a 2.7. Maybe Del Rio's getting the blame. As I've mentioned in previous videos, WWE always starts and stops these pushes with guys like, with The Miz and Jack Swagger. They need to remember that Steve Austin did not become a major superstar in one day or even a couple of weeks or a couple of months. It took a full year of pushing Austin before he finally caught on. So when you take a guy like Alberto Del Rio and you give him a push for like a week and then give up. First of all, they spent about a year building him up. Then he gets the title and then he has it for a month. So yeah, the whole thing is very mind-boggling. I mean, I guess it's always possible that Del Rio can get it back on Raw this week or maybe in a week or two. But then you're just changing the titles too often. It's like a hot potato. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm just really perplexing. So Cena's now a 10-time champ. Do you think he'll beat Flair's record of 16? At the rate things are going, that definitely seems to be a possibility. Oh boy, a lot of unhappy people if that ever happens. Do you think TNA should bring back the 6-sided ring? Doesn't really matter, honestly. That is not the major problem with TNA. So whether it's 4-sided or 6-sided or 10-sided, it's the product, the in-ring quality, the storylines, all that is what's important, not the ring. Hey Aaron, Rhino recently returned to SmackDown during Edge's Appreciation Night. Do you think he will ever return to WWE again if WWE wants to sign him? It's always a possibility. Rhino still got it in him. So, it could go either way. If WWE wants an old school veteran back, I'm sure Rhino's one of the guys they might look into. What's going on with Alex Riley? I really liked him as a wrestler, and people seem to really like him when he turned on The Miz. He seemed to have a major pop from the crowd when he turned on him. Haven't seen Alex in a while, though. Well, yeah, going back to earlier, WWE does these start and stop pushes. They start pushing a guy for about a week or two, and then they give up on him right away. I'm not sure what's going on with Alex Riley right now. I know, he's still somewhat green. He's still inexperienced in the ring and not really that good at working a match at this point. And his promos are really good for a new guy, but yeah, he's still got a lot of work to do in the ring, getting better as a performer and all that. So it could just be they want him to pay his dues, that sort of thing. But yeah, going back to Del Rio, it's just, man, I can't even get it out of my mind, like how they spent a whole year building him up, and for months the plan was for him to get the WWE title and go to Mexico as champion, and then Cena wins it back. It could have just been a panic with the ratings. I have no idea. Hey Aaron, why can't WWE do SmackDown live on Fridays instead of Tuesdays? I mean, wouldn't it be a better choice instead of having to move to Tuesdays and having WWE on Mondays then the next day? Okay, the whole point is that they want to get off Friday nights. Friday nights is a bad night for wrestling. People are out on Fridays doing things. WWE tests the waters with Tuesday nights and the ratings went up. Every time they've done Tuesday nights, the ratings have gone up. So it makes logical sense to move to Tuesday night. It's not even a live issue. It's the getting off Friday nights that's the issue. And even Wednesday or Thursday, I think, would be a lot better than doing Thursday or Friday nights at this point. Hey Aaron, what do you feel about TNA turning Jeff Hardy's drug problem into a storyline? Well, it worked wonders with Scott Hall and WCW when they turned his problems into a storyline, so TNA's got to do everything that WCW does, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. It's, sometimes the best storylines are based on real life, and if Jeff Hardy's fine with exploiting his real life problems for the sake of television, then so be it, whatever. With Rock now announced to be competing at Survivor Series, do you think this means WWE knows at this point that someone like Austin or Foley will be competing at WrestleMania 28, thus the reason they've risked Rock wrestling before WrestleMania 28? Well, as I mentioned before, I think the whole situation here is that WWE feels that Rock's first match not being at WrestleMania 28 will only have a minimum effect on the pay-per-view buy rate. They still expect a ton of people to tune in to watch Cena versus Rock. And the idea is that it's going to help Survivor Series a lot. It's going to generate a lot of interest in Survivor Series, and I think they want to tell the story of Rock's first match being back to take place in Madison Square Garden, where his very first match was with WWE back in 1996 at Survivor Series, the 15-year anniversary. I think that's the story they want to tell, and time will tell if that's the right decision or not. It's definitely got a lot of mixed reviews. Some people think it's a great idea. Some people think it's a terrible idea. We'll see what happens. Hey Aaron, what are your thoughts on Ultimate Warrior? Do you think he'll ever return to WWE and be inducted into the Hall of Fame, even though he was a screw-up during his last days with WWE? Well, a year or two ago, there was some serious consideration about Warrior being in the Hall of Fame. WWE started acknowledging Warrior and put him back into the opening video montage. So I think they were trying to get on Warrior's good side, but Warrior didn't really want to have anything to do with him, I think. So, it's always open for Warrior to go in the Hall of Fame. He's a big-time name. Even though a lot of people don't like him, you cannot deny his accomplishments in the wrestling business. And it's all a matter if the two sides can agree on something. I believe it was might have been something about a payout that Warrior wasn't happy with what they were offering him financially to do the Hall of Fame. But if they're able to come to terms, I definitely see the Warrior go in the Hall of Fame, and he should, in my opinion. If Angel, I think you meant Angle, did not go to TNA, would he have gotten into all the trouble with DUIs and his wife leaving him for Jeff Jarrett? Your thoughts? Well, if Kurt Angle hadn't gone to TNA, he probably would be dead right now. And that's sad to say and, very morbid, but he was breaking down rapidly in WWE. He needed to get out of there and get the lighter schedule and just not have so much pressure because his body was breaking down on him at a rapid pace. What happened to Chris Harris? He got his brains knocked out by somebody. Do you think Ring of Honor will beat WWE or TNA in ratings or in buy rates? Well, the thing with ROH is that it's catered to a very narrow audience. For them to get to the level of WWE or TNA, they really need to start marketing their guys and making their guys larger than life superstars. They need the action figures, they need the video games, the t-shirts, all the merchandising that goes along with it to make these guys into something. I mean, you look at somebody like Kevin Steen. I like the guy. I think he's a good performer. He's a good wrestler. He's entertaining on the mic, but is his character really developed enough to be marketable, like with merchandising, like action figures, video games, like what's his persona? I mean, that's the thing with a lot of those ROH guys. They're known for their wrestling and their high spots and all that, but they're not all that marketable, and that's the problem there. So if ROH can get to that next level in terms of pushing their guys and creating superstars out of their talent, then maybe someday they can get to a level of WWE or TNA. All right, that about does it for NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. Leave a comment, YouTube.com/NoDQCAW. And stay tuned for more videos this week. We'll talk more about what's going on heading into Hell in a Cell, which is 2 weeks away. We have yet another WWE pay-per-view. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you next time.